Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Lent podcast, episode number 26. We're almost at the end.
We are coming into land.
That is crazy. Now, Dave, you are going to be helping us understand something a bit more today, something about Jesus' miracles.
Yeah, and I want to start by asking you a question. This time is going to be a yes or no question.
Okay.
Easy question. I'm not going to ask you for any details.
Great.
But have you ever in your life felt as though you have failed something?
Yes.
Yes, that's not a hard question to answer. I'm sure most of us at some point in our life feel as though we failed something. Might feel as though we failed a test. I remember there was a job that I really thought I was going to get and I didn't get it, and I felt like a failure because I didn't get the job. I remember a time when there was a part in a play that I really wanted. I failed at that one. I remember many times when I was not picked first for a sports team. In fact, I was normally picked last, and it makes you feel like a failure. And we don't like feeling like a failure. So, in this story, I think Jesus says something or does something about that. So, Shona, can you read it for us?
Of course I can. This is from Luke 5, and at this point, Jesus is with some fishermen. So this is from verse 4. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Now go out where it is deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish." "Master," Simon replied, "we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. But if you say so, I'll let the nets down again." And this time, their nets were so full of fish, they began to tear. A shout for help brought their partners in the other boat, and soon both boats were filled with fish and were on the verge of sinking.
Okay, thank you very much, Shona. So, these fishermen had had a bad day. They had had a day that was a bit of a failure. They are fishermen, their job is to catch fish, and we hear Simon, also known as Peter, says that they've been out all night and they haven't caught anything. They've failed. They've had a failure of a day as fishermen, a failure of a night. Nothing happened, nothing worked, they didn't catch anything. And then Jesus comes along and he says, "Go and put your nets down over there instead." Now, Jesus is not a fisherman, and they are. You'd think that they would know better than him where to put the nets out, where the fish would be. And he tells them to go and put it out in a different place, a place that was kind of maybe the wrong place even. And sure enough, there are loads and loads and loads of fish there. And they catch them. So Jesus has taken their failure of a day as fishermen and turned it into a success, miraculously. But he doesn't just do that with the fish. He actually does it with their lives as well. Because these fishermen were just ordinary people. They weren't impressive. No one thought that much of them. They weren't famous. They weren't seen as very clever. And yet Jesus comes along and he takes an interest in them and in their lives. And actually, if you carry on reading a little bit, then what you hear is that Peter, after he sees this amazing thing that Jesus has done, says that he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near Jesus because Jesus is so much better than he is and because he knows that he is a failure. But Jesus says, "No, don't be afraid. Don't worry. I want to be close to you." And then he gives this whole group a new purpose, something that he wants them to do. He says, "From now on, you're not just going to fish for fish. You're going to fish for people with me. You're going to come and help me to catch people and show them what I'm like and tell them about God, and then they can come and follow me just like you are." So Jesus takes these failures of fishermen and gives them a success. And then he takes people who didn't think that much of themselves and he gives them a new purpose, a new reason to live. I think that is a really, really cool thing that Jesus has done. So I want to ask you a simple question. Do you think that Jesus is worth following? And do you think that he is worth getting your purpose from? That's my question.
Ooh, good question. We're going to leave you now to chat about that, and you will hear a bit more from us tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.